Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching a Headlines Today special broadcast, Your Vote 2014, India's first Twitter debate. Over the last 3 months, Headlines Today along with Twitter and an application developer firm called Frol have put together for the first time ever a sentiment analysis and heat map application which over the next 1 hour will give you, our viewers sitting in their drawing rooms, in their bedrooms, an opportunity to participate in a live television debate. So far, you've seen audiences such as those sitting over here today with us in the studio participate in programs. The difference between a usual debate and this is that today, all of you sitting at home have the opportunity to participate in this debate. In just a moment from now, we'll be joined by Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, National Spokesperson for the Congress Party, BJP's Meenakshi Lekhi and Rahul Mehra from the Aam Aadmi Party. But before I begin the debate, I want to go across to my colleague Pierre Fitter, who's been working on producing this broadcast, and he will explain to you how you can participate in India's first Twitter debate. Pierre, take it away.
Thanks, Rahul. We're really excited about this because we've got some never-before graphics, never-before participation from the audience. And as you can see, this is one of the graphics that we'll be showing viewers through the show. This is what a heat map looks like. It's got 7 of India's biggest cities. We'll be adding more through the show as we see more participation from the audience. What we're going to show viewers is where each guest has the most positive and the most negative responses from. You can see over that map, New Delhi, Jaipur and New Delhi and Ahmedabad on the south, towards the south of the country. You have Kolkata in the east, Hyderabad, Bangalore and Chennai as well. We're going to do this for every guest. We have 3 guests, as Rahul introduced at the beginning of the show. We're also going to show viewers what the sentiment of overall for each speaker looks like. Remember, this heat map is only for these 6 cities, but we also want to show you the overall sentiment for the guests from all over Twitter, everyone who's participating in this debate. We've got Abhishek Manu Singhvi's heat map. Of course, it reads 0-0 right now because we've not got any tweets in, but that number and that number will change as the debate goes on. But this is something we've never tried before, Rahul. We've never attempted before, and we're really excited to see how it works out.
In the end, Pierre will analyze how people have voted. You will see in a moment our speakers begin their opening comments, and all of you are welcome to participate. All you need to do is use the hashtag YourVote2014, add the name or the Twitter handle of our 3 speakers, and you can join in. Try and be as clear and precise as you can in stating whether you like or dislike somebody's comments. I also have my colleague Rishika Barua standing by in our news center, and she will take you through some of the key tweets that are coming in while this program is on. The topic for today's program is, has the Aam Aadmi Party shown that it is intolerant of criticism? We've got an audience over here. They will be on their smartphones and tablets tweeting away. We also have at this time Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi representing the Congress Party, Meenakshi Lekhi from the BJP and Rahul Mehra representing the Aam Aadmi Party. Each speaker in the beginning will get 2 minutes to make his comments. I want to go across first to Rahul Mehra on the attack, an unprecedented attack that the Aam Aadmi Party has launched on the media. Is this wholly unfair? Has the Aam Aadmi Party shown that it is intolerant of criticism, given the fact that it's the media that built the Aam Aadmi Party by projecting it in the way that it did? When tough questions are asked, why is the Aam Aadmi Party turning so critical? Rahul Mehra, you've got 2 minutes and your time, sir, starts now. All of you, please get set to tweet away. Go, sir.
Rahul, if Aam Aadmi Party was intolerant, then every topic which is changed in the last minute and every panel which is changed in the last minute by Headlines Today, we would not be participating. Number 2, you say that it's the Aam Aadmi Party has been a media creation. I beg to differ out there. For 9 months prior to the Delhi elections, there was a complete blackout by the media. And it was only a month before that once you realized that the Aam Aadmi Party is relevant and is in the race, that you all came and joined the bandwagon. And you couldn't ignore Aam Aadmi Party. It's not out of arrogance that I say, but that's a reality. Are we fooling ourselves, Rahul? If judiciary is corrupt, if the politicians and the polity is corrupt, if the three pillars of democracy are today, parts of it are corrupt, how come the fourth estate, so-called media, can be away from this? What were Radia tapes if media is so sacrosanct and absolutely pious in its dealing? What are these sting operations which have recently happened on News Express channel, where they showed that even the opinion polls are manufactured to propagate a political party to get it in power? You don't raise questions and ask questions as to why the leading political leaders of leading political parties like Narendra Modi give you a completely manicured kind of discussions, and you can't have a one-on-one like you can have with Arvind Kejriwal with no holds barred. So Congress is the one which trampled the entire independence of media and the independence of and democracy itself with the emergency. BJP and Congress, as I often say, is two sides of the same coin, simply because both of them today are talking about independence of media when both of them on given opportunities have not even shed a tear for the same fourth estate, at times when things were getting...
Okay, Rahul, your time is up. You have 2 minutes. You've made the points you have. We will not interject while you speak, but once the buzzer goes off, that's where your argument must rest. I want to go across now to Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi from the Congress Party. There's been a cozy club, sir, that's existed, alleges the Aam Aadmi Party, between the establishment. He says the media is a part of the establishment. The Aam Aadmi Party is trying to challenge that establishment, which is why the system is as rattled. Do you believe, sir, that the Aam Aadmi Party is being highly intolerant of criticism? Sir, your time starts now. Remember, just once, use the hashtag YourVote2014. Include Dr. Singhvi's name. Sir, please speak. Your time starts now. Reset the buzzer.
There are plenty of things wrong with the Aam Aadmi Party. Please stop an echo because my time will be taken up. I'm hearing my own voice. I don't like that much. The Aam Aadmi Party has plenty of things wrong with it, but I'm not critical of it merely because it is criticizing the media. There is plenty wrong with the media as well, and I would in fact share some of the criticism of the media. There is less sense and more sensationalism. There is a lot of bias. There is a lot of incompleteness, superficiality. There are lots of ills of the media, but this debate is not about the media. The Aam Aadmi Party, secondly, Rahul, started off on a good footing. I, for one, believe that it has set a new paradigm in politics. It has created a paradigm of simplicity and so on. But then things went sour. And the main things wrong with the Aam Aadmi Party is, one, a over-conceited sense of self-righteousness. That has been the undoing of so many outfits. Infallibility is number two, which flows from that sense of morality. Third, absolute inflexibility. And you see that and you call it intolerance, and you see that every day within their cadres, in their actions. All of it, of course, overweening and overriding a iconoclastic, destructive, negative, battering ram approach. Everything is bad, everything is wrong. Now, you fit all those four things into a governance mold and you have a recipe for disaster. And that is why very quickly this Aam Aadmi feeling and euphoria is evaporating. The euphoria is evaporating into thin air. And as more and more days go by, the people are going to find that this is all very good for creating rhetoric, for creating ripples, for creating a presence in the media, for creating momentary or even short-term attention, but not for even medium-term, solid, lasting good, much less long-term.
Dr. Singhvi, the buzzer's gone off.
Change.
That's where your initial arguments will end. You're saying that the Aam Aadmi Party is not just battling the media, it's battling its inability to perform. I want to go across now to BJP's Meenakshi Lekhi. You've heard from the Congress, you've heard from the Aam Aadmi Party. Do you believe, madam, that the Aam Aadmi Party is turning critical of the media because the media has turned critical of them? And do you believe that this shows the Aam Aadmi Party as a bunch of people who can't take criticism? Meenakshi Lekhi, before your time starts, once again I want to tell our viewers, we're receiving a lot of tweets already. Use the hashtag YourVote2014. If you want to write in support of Meenakshi Lekhi, either use her Twitter handle, which is M_Lekhi, or just write the name Meenakshi or Lekhi, and you will then be able to add on to her count in this Twitter debate. Ms. Lekhi, your time starts now.
My point is very simple. First of all, did they criticize the media or they did not? Because they have been going topsy-turvy over the statements made by Arvind Kejriwal, whether he in fact made a statement or did not make a statement. That position still remains critical and they are not able to explain themselves. And when there are people like Ashutosh, Shazia Elmi, Devinder Pal Singh, who have been former journalists themselves, what positions have they come from and what all kind of corruption have they engaged in? I would be very happy to know. The third point is that when media, I mean, if they are sneezing and coughing in front of the media channels round the clock, doing all dharnas 24/7 and running a serial which is Save the Congress Party at every evening at 9 p.m. on all news channels, that's the job they are assigned to deliver and that's the job they are doing and they have done in the past. They criticize the Congress Party for emergency but have no qualms in forming government with their support. They criticize Congress Party but have no qualms in working for National Advisory Council. They criticize Congress Party but have been advisors to Rahul Gandhi. This is the history of Aam Aadmi Party and quite clearly they have learned the art of staying in the headlines either for right reasons or for wrong reasons because there is no groundwork and groundwork cannot be achieved overnight. That requires a lot of footwork and that footwork is missing. So they have decided to stay in limelight by staying on media constantly. In this regard, I also have a question that when Bharat Singh Krantikari image is sought to be created by the same media for the same person, how does he deal with that kind of corruption? And how does he deal with the kind of corruption when it is a serial which is going on around the clock for everything? Being critical of media or being critical of any establishment is a separate story. You need to have facts, you need to come up with data, you need to have proper investigation and details. Now those details are...
Okay ma'am, the buzzer's gone off. Your opening arguments will end there. All our speakers have spoken for 2 minutes each. We're already receiving a plethora of tweets. In case you want to support Rahul Mehra, either use his Twitter handle, use the hashtag YourVote2014, put in a word which indicates whether you agree with him, you support him, or use an adjective where you indicate very clearly that you disagree with him. Opening comments have been made by all our speakers. I now want to go for the first interjection. The difference between the opening arguments and the interjection is that in the interjection, each of the speakers is allowed only 1 minute. Please keep tweeting right away. I want to go across to Rahul Mehra on the points made by both Dr. Singhvi and Meenakshi Lekhi. Only those who criticize you are called paid media. Those who praise you are good media, which essentially means that till the time you praise the Aam Aadmi Party loves the media. The moment the media asks searching questions of the Aam Aadmi Party, the same Aam Aadmi Party turns against the same media. Rahul Mehra, your time for interjection begins now, sir.
Nothing could be far away from truth, Rahul. In fact, if you go deeper into every issue that the media has been raising, media has been far more critical of the Aam Aadmi Party than any other political party over the last decades. But that's not the issue. We are here for scrutiny and we welcome all kinds of scrutiny. We want to be fully transparent and completely accountable. That's what we stand for. But do these two national political parties, do they stand for the same? Obviously not. I'll give you 3 examples. One, the kind of media that we object to. Our very existence is anti-corruption, and if you see Zee News, their 2 editors have been shown to be having hands in the till, and yet the regulatory mechanism, which is completely inadequate and inefficient, has done nothing about them. Both the editors are very much there. Number 2, media talks about Aam Aadmi Party imploding every time, and they show that Shazia has dissent, Kumar has dissent, but they have nothing to say when P. Chidambaram, Jayanti Natarajan and others are fighting over tickets.
Okay, Rahul, your time for that interjection is over. I want to go across to Dr. Singhvi first, because the Congress, in fact, is one party that has received a lot of bad press over the last 5 years. They've never been critical of the media in quite the way that the Aam Aadmi Party has. They've been unhappy, they've been dismayed, but they've never been so critical. But the charge that Rahul Mehra levels is that the media jumps to conclusions when something goes slightly wrong with the Aam Aadmi Party. A slight difference of opinion between Kumar Vishwas, Shazia Ilmi and Arvind Kejriwal is projected as a big implosion, whereas when Chidambaram says he doesn't wish to fight in Shivaganga, no one is criticizing him in the same way, or the fact that Pawan Bansal gets a ticket from Chandigarh. Sir, your response to Rahul Mehra's interjection. Your time, sir, starts now.
In my short 1 minute, let's get a few basic facts clear. If there has been a darling of the media in political system, it is only the Aam Aadmi Party, because it had novelty, it was based on it, and I think the entire media, in fact civil society, lapped up the Aam Aadmi Party in the initial very early days of the honeymoon. So they can't complain. What is happening is the chickens are coming home to roost. Real life has a way of teaching you about the realities of life. Real-time governance means that when you criticize us about bickering, when your own elections come, your own party bickers about tickets. When you criticize us about being slow, when time comes to pass a legislation, you realize that there is a constitution, there are laws, there are procedures, there are precedents. You can't go on top of a hill and say, I've passed the law. When time comes to fight elections, you realize that there are a whole host of things to be thought of when you give a ticket. Now, when you criticize us for these very things, now the media does an operation on you.
Sir, your time is up.
Well, you can't complain then.
I'll come back to you in just a moment. I want to explain once more, since this is the first episode of the Twitter debate, in case you agree with what you've heard Dr. Singhvi say, either use his Twitter handle or put his name, either Abhishek or Singhvi, and you can either support him or disagree with him using the hashtag YourVote2014. I now want to go across to Meenakshi Lekhi from the BJP. There are channels that are favoring the BJP, alleges Rahul Mehra, and that there is a corporate media conspiracy because big corporates are fed up with the UPA in the way that it's performed in the last 5 years. Big money, big corporates are backing Modi, and they therefore want to undermine Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party because he's the one threat, the one real threat to Narendra Modi's prime ministerial campaign. Madam, your time starts now.
I would put it differently. I would say, had they gone to Gujarat quietly and nothing had happened and they had just completed their trip and come back, then it would not make any good news. So what they did, a person who's trained by the IRS does a nautanki on the roads of Gujarat and wants to stay in the news, knowing very well that model code of conduct has come in place, and calls it arrest. When arrest did not work, then says detention, and when that does not work, comes and attack the office to stay in the news. So much for the transparency and so much for staying in the news. And since we are debating a Twitter debate, all I have to say, he should have followed Meera Sanyal on the Twitter, or he should have made a call to know what kind of development has happened in Gujarat, because all that she tweeted about a year ago. And apart from that, Mr. Yogendra Yadav has been speaking earlier on the developmental agenda which has taken Gujarat
Your
forward.
1 minute is over in this round, and I want to tell our viewers that in about 3 minutes from now, we'll go across to my colleague Pierre, who will then give us the first rushes of the responses that are coming in so far. You can, of course, keep tweeting in and change the results. So Pierre has been working the algorithm. He'll have the results ready. But in the next 3 minutes, 1 minute each for each of our speakers to interject and respond to what the other speakers have said. Rahul Mehra has his hand up. He now gets 1 minute to respond to both of what Dr. Singhvi and Meenakshi Lekhi have said. Rahul Mehra, your time starts now, sir.
Rahul, we all know how media treats the other political parties, simply because there seems to be a kind of a sense that if somebody, a political party, takes on the media, then there is a kind of a quid pro quo. The media will get back to them. And they truly can't afford that because they have ghosts in the closet. For the first time, there is a political discourse being changed with media also under the gamut. Obviously, no prudent man would say that media is completely pure and pristine. It's the media which comes from the same society. And our endeavor is to hold the bad eggs in the media and not the entire media, only the ones who are corrupt and who are actually dancing to the tunes and making the news in the boardrooms rather than the news which is there to be done by the editors. We support the editorials which are good, which are honest, but not otherwise. As far as the governance model is concerned, I think 49 days of Aam Aadmi has shown all what one could have done. In fact, in the history of India's independence, Aam Aadmi Party's government has given the maximum amount.
Okay, Rahul, your time is over. 2 more minutes to go before we get the first set of rushes up on the screen. That will be the initial results that have come in. Rahul, you only get to speak for the amount of time the buzzer allows. Here is Meenakshi Lekhi's opportunity to respond to any of what Rahul Mehra and Dr. Singhvi have said. Meenakshi Lekhi, your 1 minute starts now.
My point is very simple, that Mr. Rahul Mehra, when talks about how media treats other parties, I have to say, हम आहा भी करते हैं तो हो जाते हैं बदनाम, वो कत्ल भी करते हैं तो जिक्र नहीं होता. The micro scrutiny which Gujarat government and Mr. Modi has been undergoing, we know precisely how media has treated Mr. Modi and how media is treating BJP. But nevertheless, we never said intimidating statements that we will put you behind bars, which may have come from the Aam Aadmi Party and also from Mr. Shinde. Now, these statements do not behold somebody who's practicing democracy. They have attacked the judiciary in the past, they have attacked the parliamentary procedures, they have attacked the executive, and now they have attacked the media. Now these are basically Maoists and Mufti, because they have also engaged with people like Soni Sori, they have engaged with Binayak Sains, and they have got Sabyasachi Panda as their members recently, who have 5 lakh bounty on their head.
The buzzer has gone off. Your time is up. 1 more minute to go. Dr. Singhvi speaks now. And once again, for the benefit of our viewers, if you wish to either support or disagree with what he's saying, use the hashtag YourVote2014. Add his name, either his Twitter handle or Abhishek or Singhvi, and write in. And in 1 minute, we'll know what the initial results look like. Dr. Singhvi, your time starts now, sir.
I have only a few very quick, precise points. Point number 1, in the form of a question to the Aam Aadmi Party. They've been around for about 2 years, I don't know the exact number of months, and in governance for about 50 days. Question number 1, have they ever, except the very recent past, ever from their formation till the government was formed in Delhi, even once criticized the media? The answer is a resounding no. So only after you came into governance and subsequently when you were criticized for your disintegration, did you start criticizing the media. And that is, I think, very selective, very opportunistic. Question number 2, can you point out any completed, implemented, real, solid scheme, even if not completed in the sense that it will go on long term? Except
So now what we are going to do is, I want to go across, the buzzer's gone off, Dr. Singhvi. I want to go across at this time to my colleague Pierre Fitter, who is now going to do a sentiment analysis and a heat map analysis. These are not the final results, just on an aggregate of the tweets that we've received so far. Pierre, why don't you tell our viewers what the initial trends are looking like? Pierre.
Yeah, Rahul, these are live figures. This is Twitter as it is right now in the last 20 minutes of this debate. Let's take a look at the heat map for Dr. Singhvi. You can see where he is specifically getting a lot of agreement and disagreement from. Delhi actually not really agreeing with Dr. Singhvi. You see neutral tweets really from Ahmedabad. Mumbai 50-50 with Dr. Singhvi right now. Let's go to the south and the east of the country, starting of course with Kolkata way up in the east, where we have again very neutral response to Dr. Singhvi and very high agreement from Chennai and very high agreement from Bangalore as well. Let's get the results now for Meenakshi Lekhi of the BJP, the heat map for Meenakshi Lekhi coming up right now. And again, let's start with the capital first. People in Delhi loving what Meenakshi Lekhi is saying right now. Ahmedabad 50-50 for the BJP. That's curious. Mumbai 100% disagreement right now for Meenakshi Lekhi. Again, remember, this is just the first 20 minutes of the debate. Let's look at Kolkata, again fairly neutral. Hyderabad and Chennai. Chennai actually has a very high agreement rate, and Bangalore has a positive rating for Meenakshi Lekhi as well. And finally, for Rahul Mehra, let's start with the capital once again, and we look at Delhi, where people aren't really agreeing with Rahul Mehra. You see some neutrality from Ahmedabad and quite a bit of negativity for Rahul Mehra from Mumbai, south and east of the country. And we begin, of course, with Kolkata, where it's fairly neutral, also neutral in Hyderabad, disagreement in Chennai, and high agreement in Bangalore for Rahul Mehra. This is the exciting bit now. Let's look at the sentiment scores for each of our 3 guests, and we begin once again with Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. This is very interesting. 65% of the tweets coming in Dr. Singhvi's name show agreement with him, 35% showing disagreement. Let's look at also the results for Meenakshi Lekhi, where we're about to come to that, and there we go. So very high agreement across the country. Remember, we showed you only 6 cities earlier. This is for across the country. High agreement from Meenakshi Lekhi of the BJP. Only 28% of the tweets in her name are negative. And finally, for Rahul Mehra, the results very evenly poised, 56-44. Those numbers could go anywhere, Rahul, in the next 40 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much, Pierre. I just want to explain to our viewers what these numbers really mean. A sentiment analysis is a breakup of all the positive and the negative tweets. All the neutral tweets are being filtered out by this algorithm, and also all the cuss words, the abuses. Those get filtered out immediately. Only the clearly positive and negative tweets will show up. So far, you've seen the positive tweets and the negative tweets for each of our speakers. At the end of the program, we will aggregate these tweets, and then we will see who received the most positive tweets, who received the most negative tweets. I quickly want to go across to my colleague Rishika Barua as well, and she'll now take us through some of the interesting tweets and how Twitter is responding to this live debate. Rishika, take it away.
We've had an overwhelming response in the first 20 minutes. There have been almost 20 tweets per second. Really difficult to actually absorb so many of them. We have Apurva Saxena who said, yes, Aam Aadmi Party has, and threatening the media like this makes Kejriwal no different from Sushil Kumar Shinde. So that's a clear negative for the Aam Aadmi Party. Also, we have somebody who's come out and said that Aam Aadmi Party is just defending itself against criticism just like any other party does. I mean, what is wrong with that? So mixed responses coming in for the Aam Aadmi Party. We have somebody responding to Abhishek Manu Singhvi saying that he's neither here nor there, want to criticize Aam Aadmi Party, but can't, as is afraid that the BJP will benefit from that. So that's a very strong opinion coming in there. Also, there has been another response to Mr. Singhvi saying that Molly Mudgal, in fact, supports Mr. Singhvi's stance. Aam Aadmi Party enjoyed a honeymoon period passed in the media limelight positively, but now it's time to prove their mettle. Mayank Talwar says the way Modi has been scrutinized for the last 10 years, Kejriwal has started crying in a few months. This is in response to what Meenakshi Lekhi in fact said, the arguments she made. The last tweet for Meenakshi Lekhi said that when will Narendra Modi come out and speak to the media one-on-one? Arvind Kejriwal has at least been open. Well, that's a question that nobody yet has an answer to, Rahul.
This is so much fun. Some very, very perceptive tweets there. Thank you so much, Rishika. We'll go across to her in just a moment. I want to go across at this time, and I want to state once more that each of our speakers in this round will respond to what you are tweeting in live. They will now respond to what you're tweeting in live. I want to go across first to Meenakshi Lekhi on the point that was made by somebody who responded to you saying Arvind Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi at least take questions. Narendra Modi, throughout the period of this campaign, has not taken a single question. Respond, madam, to what Twitterati is saying about you. Your time, sir. Your time, ma'am, starts now.
No, Mr. Modi has been responding to various questions, not just of the media, but of the political establishment also, throughout in all his speeches. But probably the point is towards a media interaction. That also will happen soon. And whenever he chooses, it will happen. Let me bring one point on record. Till 2005, he was regularly in touch with media, and post that, when due to some sort of disillusionment with the media, he stopped interacting with media. That no matter how you explain, how much material you give, it'll get published only in one direction. So he gave up. But let's see how future unfolds. Okay, and that decision lies with him only.
On that question, very interestingly, Meenakshi Lekhi spoke for 10 seconds, lesser than she had time for. That happens very, very rarely with anybody from the BJP. But I want to go across to Dr. Singhvi now on the point that was made. Meenakshi, you don't get to come in right now. Dr. Singhvi's turn now. The Congress is neither here nor there. You are scared of criticizing the Aam Aadmi Party too much, because if you do, you might end up helping the BJP and Narendra Modi. Dr. Singhvi, your time, sir, starts now.
That may be a perception. It's obviously incomplete, incorrect, and partial perception. A, the person who has fought it most bitterly and also suffered the maximum loss in Delhi has been the Congress. B, in their 49-50 days of governance, you check the record, check the rushes, check the films and the print media, there have been daily vicious massive attacks. Number 3, we have battled them on several fronts of civic life in Delhi, on the Lokpal, in the manner of its passage. So I think this is completely, in the imagination. Yes, we have supported them only to the limited extent, and we repeated it 10 times, and I have done it myself. 8 seats will not lead to a vote of no confidence. 8 MLAs will not lead to a vote of no confidence getting through. That's about the only limited support we have given them. So I think anybody who knows real politics knows that there is no such support at all.
Okay, your time, sir, is up. You finished just in time. Once again, for the benefit of our viewers, if you wish to tweet in or against any of our speakers, use the hashtag YourVote2014 and add the name or the Twitter handle of the guest that you're supporting or disagreeing with and write in what you want. If your tweet is clearly in favor or against, that will register in the algorithm. Cuss words, abuses will be filtered out, as also all neutral tweets. But the point which was made, which was very interesting, and I want to take up Rahul Mehra on that, when the media praised the Aam Aadmi Party, when your party was in its inception stages before the Delhi Assembly elections, you never found anything wrong with the media, because at that time you were being praised by the media. The moment the media turned a critical lens towards you, that is when you turned against the media. Rahul Mehra, your time starts now.
Rahul, let me put some facts before you to bring it in perspective. 8 months or 9 months before the elections, there was a blackout by media. You know why? Because some Arvind Kejriwal of some Aam Aadmi Party took up the cudgels with one a major giant of India, Mukesh Ambani. And after that, there were notices slapped that in case you, give live feed to any of Arvind Kejriwal's press conferences, then they shall take the media to court. Every media house completely blacked out the Aam Aadmi Party. But let's leave that aside. Number two, Aam Aadmi Party is the only party where you would see that, in case something goes wrong, to err is to be human, and we apologize. It was Arvind Kejriwal, after the BJP scuffle outside the BJP headquarters, the first time a political party apologized instantly rather than defending itself. To say that we we can't take criticism, that is absolutely untrue. We are here to change the polity in the long run. If we commit mistakes, we would accept that. But
okay, Rahul, your time is up. But I want to take you up on the points that have been made. You've raised the bogey of the Mukesh Ambani connection and the linkages Mukesh Ambani has with both the Congress and the BJP, especially the BJP. Therefore, Meenakshi Lekhi must come in on this being a Mukesh Ambani conspiracy in the eyes of the Aam Aadmi Party, that till the time they didn't touch Mukesh Ambani, no one was critical of them. They feel that the BJP and the Congress and the media have turned so hostile because there is now a direct attack on India's leading industrialist. Meenakshi Lekhi, your time, madam, starts now.
You see, we have been critical of various policies, but it cannot be person or personality based. Anybody who does wrong should be behind bars. And when they again make a gas out of a gas issue, is also something which is worth an effort to look into in detail. The detail is that it was Mr. Yashwant Sinha who first pointed out the wrongs in the excavation and gas distribution issue, pricing issue. Then it was Mr. Prakash Javadekar who took it forward. Then it was Saurabh Patel, the petroleum minister from Gujarat, who took it forward. There is a petition which is pending in the Supreme Court, yet the Aam Aadmi Party has chosen not to intervene in that petition and gone on to make such false claims. And that is my problem with Aam Aadmi Party. It uses media for rhetoric, for false claims, and when the question of investigation and proving is concerned, they have nothing to say.
Okay. Madam, your time is up. I want to go across to Dr. Abhishek Singhvi, but before I do so, I want to tell our viewers once more, if you wish to support Dr. Singhvi, use his name, either Abhishek or Singhvi or his Twitter handle, and then the hashtag YourVote2014. Then you can tweet in live on this program. Rahul Gandhi did one interview, and after that, there was a whole bunch of interviews that were scheduled, which we never heard back from the Congress on. Rahul Mehra says Arvind Kejriwal is easy to criticize, which is why he gets criticized. Rahul did that one interview. After that, he's fallen off the interview map. You can challenge him, and when he makes a mistake, Arvind responds. He apologizes, and therefore he's different from both the Congress and the BJP. Dr. Singhvi, your time starts now, sir.
It's right to say that Rahul Gandhi did only one 80-minute interview. He has done several smaller, shorter interviews. That was a long 80-minute interview. Mr. Modi has not done a single one. The only one I remember was when he walked away in the middle of the interview when the Godhra question was put. As far as other interviews are concerned, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has given many. And he's very easy to speak to and easily accessible when he wants to speak. The point is not the number of interviews you give or also how easily you are accessible. The point is that you are willing to face criticism. I don't think anybody who has seen Rahul Gandhi in person, talk to him or on media, can say remotely that of all the three personalities we are discussing, or indeed of all the three political parties in the studio, or indeed of anybody else in the Indian political spectrum, I don't think there is anybody more A, open to introspection, B, open to criticism, C, willing to receive ideas, suggestions, inputs, and even strong criticism. I'm not talking only intra-party.
Dr. Singhvi, the buzzer has gone off. Your time is up.
In fact,
I will now put out the proposition that will be discussed by all three speakers now. And the question that I will have, starting first with Rahul Mehra, is the Aam Aadmi Party guilty of levelling sensational charges without being adequately able to back them up with proof? You read out a telephone number or a bank number and say that this is Mukesh Ambani's Swiss bank number. It could also be the Dhobiwala's telephone number. We don't know. So is the Aam Aadmi Party guilty of levelling sensational charges without backing them up adequately? I want to tell our viewers once more, if you wish to support or disagree with what Rahul Mehra is saying, use his name, either Rahul or Mehra, or the handle that he uses, the Rahul Mehra, and support or disagree with him using the hashtag YourVote2014. You've heard the question. Is the Aam Aadmi Party guilty of levelling sensational charges without backing them up with solid evidence? Rahul Mehra, your time, sir, starts now.
Rahul, well, you know, as far as the Ambanis go, we gave those account numbers, right? And imagine what? The most powerful man in India does not even slam a defamatory notice on Arvind Kejriwal, but goes all around the media houses threatening them. And that is the, you know, trampling of democracy or the free media. He threatens them, and for the next 9 months, the media goes absolutely fat on the Aam Aadmi Party. That's what the power of the man is, but he doesn't question that particular account. He doesn't give a defamatory notice, which he could have easily done. Number two, if you look at all the exposes, look at the Robert Vadra. We are the first political party who brought it into the, you know, into the nucleus of the polity. The BJP top leaders, right from Sushma Swaraj, Arun Jaitley's, and various other leaders, one is told, and one has confirmed news on that all the political parties had the data, all the editors had the data against Robert Vadra for more than a year, I mean, year and a half in fact, and nobody, you know, did anything
that's a
about
point you made, which has received a warm round of applause from our audience, which seems to be nodding. No, Rahul, your time is up, so that's where it ends. But our audience gave a warm round of applause to that. I want to go across to Dr. Singhvi to take on from what Rahul Mehra says, that there is, because there exists a system, an establishment in Delhi, even when people know that there is something wrong with Robert Vadra's land dealings or with Ranjan Bhattacharya in the BJP, who's Vajpayeeji's son-in-law, no one takes him on because it's part of a cozy nexus. Everyone's upset with the Aam Aadmi Party because they are chasing and upsetting the apple cart. Dr. Singhvi, sir, your time starts now.
I think you have to realize that the most important thing for anybody interested long-term in politics is a sense of balance and sobriety. The Aam Aadmi Party is a hit-and-run vehicle. It is a shoot-and-scoot approach. Mr. Mukesh Ambani is not above the law, nor are you, nor am I. But it is not an end in itself to attack Mr. Mukesh Ambani, because attacking him gets you sensationalism, gets you a certain amount of votes, and fits in temporarily with your 1-month plan to fight an election. Similarly, you pick up a totem, you pick up a particular issue and you take it up only because you think you're going to live for that 1 month and attract a certain amount of anti-establishment vote. That is the biggest problem with the Aam Aadmi Party. It doesn't seem to have staying power on any issue. It's a completely shoot-and-scoot policy. They throw up issues and they don't actually end up proving any issue or carrying it to fruition or conclusion. And that, I think, is going to cost them dear in politics. And I also think on the other part you raised earlier, and within my 1 minute,
your time is
Rahul,
up. You will have an opportunity. You're receiving a warm round of applause from our audience once again. Clearly, this is a debate which is fascinating because there are points being made by each of our speakers which are being well received by our audience in the studio and also by people who are tweeting in, because I can see some of those graphics on the screen. A lot of favorable responses for all our speakers. So who's aggregating more favorable responses, we'll find out soon enough. But before that, to Meenakshi Lekhi, and once again for our viewers, use the hashtag YourVote2014, add M_Lekhi, that's her Twitter handle, or use Meenakshi or Lekhi and you can come in and comment on what she's saying. Because no one attacked Robert Vadra before, Arvind Kejriwal did a press conference. The Congress knows what is wrong with Ranjan Bhattacharya's business dealings, but doesn't attack him, shows that the Aam Aadmi Party is upsetting and challenging the system, which is why everyone is so upset. Meenakshi Lekhi, your time, madam, starts now.
Complete lie, because it was the BJP lawyers who were following up the matters both before the Punjab and Haryana High Court and also the Supreme Court regarding the land deals which happened during the Congress regime in Haryana and several other places, and these people did not have, they were not existent at that time. The matters were pursued by the BJP lawyers and taken to a conclusion, and without those documents and without the court orders in your favor, you can't just be making allegations and accusations. That's not part of BJP. The second point is, when the first press conference happens, Prashant Bhushan made a statement with sitting next to Arvind Kejriwal, stating that हमने तहकीकात की है, हमें प्रियंका वड्रा और सोनिया गांधी के खिलाफ कुछ नहीं मिला. Very simple question I need to ask, and Mr. Rahul Mehra must answer me on that, that you need to spend 50 rupees stamp duty to know who the directors are, and Priyanka Vadra during those times was the director of this gentleman's
Okay, madam, your
company.
time is
Why
up.
did he choose
We've heard
not to
enough from both Dr. Singhvi, Meenakshi Lekhi and Rahul Mehra. In this stage, I go across once more. I see all hands up, but just before that, I want to go across to my colleague Rishika, and she will take us through some of the interesting responses that we are receiving. Go ahead, Rishika.
Well, we've got some really interesting responses in the past 10 odd minutes. I'm going to just play up some of those interesting ones. Karthik says that he supports Rahul Mehra's opinion. Aam Aadmi Party is an honest party with good intentions to change the system. So that's a clear positive coming in for Rahul Mehra. There's been an overwhelming response. Sunil over here says that Aam Aadmi Party has been the most tolerant party and has taken very rough questions from the media. So clearly, again, a huge one there, supporting the Aam Aadmi Party, saying that the Aam Aadmi Party in fact has taken tough questions. Another tweet here which says that my vote totally against Rahul Mehra. They don't justify what they say. Dr. Singhvi correctly puts things in the right perspective. So somebody there clearly not buying Rahul Mehra's argument. We also have Nitish Sharma, who said that does Rahul Gandhi himself believe that he can run this country? This tweet was in fact for Abhishek Manu Singhvi, somebody here really questioning the credentials of Rahul Gandhi as a leader. A question here for Meenakshi Lekhi: Modi needs to be more media friendly and come out with more interviews. So somebody who here was not satisfied with that answer that Meenakshi Lekhi in fact gave. Totally unsatisfied with Meenakshi Lekhi's reply to why Modi doesn't face the media. Seems like he is too scared. This is what Piyush Jain had to say. So people have really hung on to the fact that Modi has in fact not come out and spoken to the media perhaps as much as people would have liked.
Okay, we are 42 minutes into this debate. We have only 5 more minutes to go. So those will be final comments from Dr. Singhvi, Meenakshi Lekhi and Rahul Mehra. So if you want to respond to any of what they're saying, either in favor or against, this is your time to do so. I will take up with each of the speakers some of the comments that you made, but before that I want to go across to Pierre and just through the sentiment analysis of each of the speakers individually. Pierre, if you can run our viewers through the numbers that you got, because next time Pierre comes on the screen, he will have the final aggregate results. So right now, Pierre, what are the individual results looking like?
42 minutes into this debate, Rahul, let's look first at what the people say about Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, and you can see the graphic up over there. 74% of the tweets are positive for Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, 26% are negative. Quickly on to Meenakshi Lekhi and the sentiment over there. This is across this is across Twitter. Whoever's watching the show and tweeting with the hashtag and those names, 70% in favor of Meenakshi Lekhi, 30% not in favor of her. And finally, for Rahul Mehra of the Aam Aadmi Party, we see 61%. So he's improved substantially in people's opinions in those last 20 odd minutes, 39% against him. Back to you, Rahul.
Twitterati very, very generous today in the responses that we're seeing, because far more in favor of each of the speakers than against. But remember, what the algorithm is doing at this time is aggregating all the positive responses for Rahul Mehra, the positive responses for Dr. Singhvi, the positive responses for Meenakshi Lekhi, and then we'll calculate who received the most positive responses. Right now, all you've seen on the screen are amongst the people who are responding for each of our speakers, how many positive and how many negative responses. In the final part, and remember, this will be a 2-minute round, so if our producers just keep that in mind, a 2-minute round now, a final question to Rahul Mehra that's been raised, that you ran away from governance before you had an opportunity to change the system. You say you want to change the system, But when you got your chance, you ran away, showing that the Aam Aadmi Party doesn't have what it takes to bring about institutional systemic change, and therefore you're very unhappy when the media criticizes you. These are your final minutes to win or lose audience support on Twitter. Rahul Mehra, your time, sir, starts now.
Well, I totally disagree with that, and humbly so. You know, if governance means to be corrupted and get corrupted and corrupt everybody around, yes, we ran away from that kind of governance. If governance means a governance of compromise with your ideology, with your philosophy, with your existence, of anti-corruption movement and not compromising on that, yes, we ran away from governance. If governance means pro-people policies and giving power, relief in power, in water, giving more licenses to the autos, bringing an anti-corruption helpline, across the spectrum, a sentiment that the corruption had gone down, talking about, bringing about legislations which are pro-people like the Jan Lokpal, which would have radically reduced and created that threat amongst the people that the corrupt people and the high and the mighty can also go to court and be jailed. Yes, we compromised and we ran away from the governance. If governance, lack of governance means compromising with Swaraj and decentralizing the power in the hands of the common man, we did compromise with that kind of governance model. If governance means not disclosing your funds and 100% disclosure of financial accounts, yes, we compromise with governance. If lack of governance means that we do not believe in criminalization of politics, yes, we ran away from that kind of governance. So what is governance? Governance we have shown in 49 days what these people could show in 67 years. If that is the kind of governance model, give us another chance. Please have faith. Don't lose faith. This is the only chance that the independent India has ever got. And we might not get this chance in another 100 years. Allow us to have some breathing space. Give us the majority. And the party which ran was the one which had 32 votes and yet said that wants to sit in opposition, but were cajoling us and wanting us and threatening us and challenging us with 28 seats. And 28 became greater than 32. Dr. Harshvardhan ran away. If there's any party which ran away, it's BJP. And we took the challenge head on.
Okay, so your time is up. You received a round of applause from our audience over here. Some people disagreeing also with what you're saying. But I want to give now Dr. Singhvi an opportunity to respond. They ran away because they didn't want to be dependent on your crutches. You weren't allowing them to make the systemic and institutional changes that they wanted. They want another chance in Delhi and nationally to be able to implement the Aam Aadmi vision of Swaraj instead of being dependent on your support. Dr. Singhvi, your opportunity to respond to Rahul Mehra.
Let me start by saying that if passion and feeling was the test, then I would also give full marks for the last outburst by Rahul Mehra. He spoke very well and with passion, but that's where the problem is. Content is lacking, substance is lacking. I'll tell you why. First of all, the Aam Aadmi Party is the one which ran away. They had no reason to. Each day was obvious to the whole world. It was a difficult day for them. As each day dawned, they were looking for excuses. It was very clear that they want to be in agitational politics. There was nothing which required them to run away, because here was a situation where we had guaranteed that for 8 votes, no non-confidence motion will succeed. And those 8 votes, at least for non-confidence purposes, could have lasted for a pretty long time. So let's get that clear. You were looking desperately for a way out. Number 2, there is a lack of humility. This is the whole problem. Humility is what tells you that you can have mistakes and you can reconsider, reconfigure, move yourself mid-course correction. The problem, and that is also reflected in what he just said, is that we wear our morality on our sleeve. We are therefore by definition always right. Everybody else is corrupt, everybody else is a slime, everybody else is wrong, therefore by definition we are right. Now governance, on the other hand, is about cooperation, about humility, about understanding that you are also wrong and somebody else is also wrong. That's what I find lacking. Thirdly, sensationalism. Take the Mukesh Ambani case. I'm not talking about Mukesh Ambani or anybody else. Does it require more than a first-year law student to tell you how could a Delhi government file an FIR in respect of a central government issue decided by the central cabinet on a issue of KG6 basin? Assume it is totally criminal. There was virtually no jurisdiction as far as the complainant is concerned in this case. But purely for creating a sensation. And what is the follow-through? Nothing. Purely to make it an election campaign.
You're saying there is lack of follow-through, there is lack of real intent to change the system. Meenakshi, sir, your time is up. The 2 minutes are up. The buzzer has gone off. We don't interject when you speak, but in this show, when the buzzer goes off, that's when the speaker stops. Meenakshi Lekhi, to you now, that the real challenge at a time when the Congress is down and out, at a time when Congress has an image crisis and a perception problem is being posed by the Aam Aadmi Party, which is why the BJP is so vociferously turned against AAP, because the Congress is not even asking these questions. The BJP realizes in its calculation if that Modi bandwagon can be tripped over, it's only by the Aam Aadmi Party, which is why you are so viscerally against them. Madam, your time starts now.
No, we are against them because when they talk about principles, the principle followed by Somnath Bharti in terms of gender insinuation, which he indulged in, carrying the camera along with him, all kinds of searches were made on women, racist remarks to racist conduct. Then we have seen how media was used by Rakhi Birla, another mantri in the cabinet, where a ball had hit the car and made a chaos out of it. We have seen the kind of chaos which was created on the streets of Mumbai, which was yesterday. You get out of a business class seat in the aeroplane, go and travel in the ladies' compartment of a train, only for creating sensationalism. Sensationalism needs to be answered on substance, and that substance which your own party member Ashwini Kumar Upadhyay has written against you, that you are in fact working for a foreign agency. Please come up and answer those questions. Please come up and answer the questions about funding. Please come up and answer that who gives you the right of spending 372 crore worth of taxpayers' money on people who chose not to pay their bills. Who gives you the right to make false statement? Who gives you the right to sabotage the press conference when press starts putting harsh questions to you? Because there is a collusion between Aam Aadmi Party. You rightly pointed out that Congress has sunk in its image makeover, and in that sense they are using the Aam Aadmi Party for dividing the vote so that Congress still can resurrect itself, and that is the whole game plan which is there for everybody to see, and that is how Aam Aadmi Party is projecting itself. When it comes to answering questions leveled on them, they have nothing to answer, and in fact have filed a false affidavit. There is a criminal case filed against him in Patiala House Court that he has misdeclared his property, giving wrong addresses, giving false declarations. What do they have to answer on them? What do they have to answer on Kashmir? Okay. What kind of statements have come?
Okay, a warm round of applause from our audience. All our speakers have made their points. I now just want to go across quickly to our audience that's joined us in the studio, just for us to hear what you've been making from this debate. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Rahul, you are retaliating or reacting so harshly just because you are the newcomer to the game. And Dr. Sanghvi, may I just ask that why you are supporting ONGC, Reliance and Oil India? Okay, just some more comments. Yes.
Rahul Mehra, didn't your party got mileage from media?
Absolutely. That's a very important point you're making. Just 1 second, we'll take as many people as we can. Yes.
Rahul Mehra, you said that Congress and BJP is two sides of same coin. But that is a coin which works in the market. You are jolly note. You doesn't work. What will we do with you?
Okay. Just comments. Yes.
My comment is to Mr. Singhvi. Rahul Gandhi is not accessible for interviews. He speaks very less. And to Rahul Mehra, sir, please stop being a pessimist.
My comment is to Mr. Singhvi. It is your perception that Aam Aadmi Party is doing all this to Mukesh Ambani for votes, but it is for the country, it's not for votes.
Okay, that's your view. You're entitled to it. Yes, sir.
Yes, my question is to Mr. Singhvi. We talked about Modi being not able to face questions, but yesterday you walked off an interview and I could just see the chair out there. And I just want to ask that, you know, when you talk about...
Yes, sir, quickly, because our results are being compiled at this time.
My question to all the
comments, quickly.
My comments to all the three participants. Why don't Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Modi and Mr. Kejriwal come on single platform and face the press and the people?
We'd love to have that. We'd have all of you back. That will be the day when it happens. Comments over here as well. Just comments, sir. Yes.
Mr. Rahul, you people, it's a fact, you people cannot tolerate the criticism. You have a right to criticize anyone. But if someone criticizes you people, you get angry. Why so?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rahul, media is criticizing Modi for so long, but he has never said that I will sue the media persons or keep them in jail. Then what is wrong with you? And we have seen how you have changed. Please.
Okay, that's important. Modi has not sued anyone who's been critical. Yes, ma'am.
Why are you criticizing media?
Why are you criticizing media? That's a very important point. Yes, ma'am.
I want to ask Ms. Lekhi, people of this country maybe agree with your points, but I want to ask you why Mr. Modi, he's going to be a prime minister, he's a prime minister candidate of BJP. Why is not coming to give interview to media?
Okay. Yes.
Why both Congress and BJP is criticizing our party? Because they fear. Because if our party comes in power, they will be nowhere. They will be defeated. And there will be no clear mandate in parliament.
Okay, thank you all very much. Just hold this mic, please. No, just 1 second. Yes. We're out of time on this program. This was not a Q&A round. This was just for speakers to get a sense of the mood amongst the real Aam Aadmi, not the one who's in an OB-1, but the real voter who'll go out and cast his mandate. All our speakers have made their points. I now want to go across to Pierre, who will now tell our viewers and our speakers about who's won. And remember, neither Pierre nor I know who's won this debate or who's won this motion. These are live automated graphics being computed real time, and we'll be seeing them for the first time. Pierre, take it away.
All right, Rahul. Frol, our technical partner who's been powering all these graphics, has sent us the final count, and this is what it looks like. And let me just explain this over here. Rahul Mehra is number one, not because he has the lowest, this percentage over here. He's number one because he has the highest number of positive tweets from everyone participating on the show. 65% of the tweets with his name were positive, but he's got so many of those tweets. In fact, I've just got an SMS from our partner Frol, 700 tweets in Rahul Mehra's name, 500 tweets from Meenakshi Lekhi, 71% of those tweets were positive, 68% of Abhishek Manu's 200 tweets were positive. Let's look at the negative side though, because we're trying to get a sense of both positive and negative, and that graphic comes up now. Abhishek Manu Singhvi has the least number of negative tweets against him. Now, the 33% of the tweets that he got in his name were negative, but the fewest negative tweets that he had. Meenakshi Lekhi getting the second fewest number of negative tweets, and finally Rahul Mehra, you know, he got 700 tweets overall, but of course that would mean he also gets the highest number of negative tweets on the show. But clearly, Rahul, one clear message, 700 tweets on the show just in Rahul Mehra's name, clearly the most popular person.
No, I've also just been told that your vote 2014, the hashtag for this particular episode of India's first Twitter debate, is now trending nationally. That's the sort of impact it's had on Twitter. It's trending nationally. The results very clearly show that the Aam Aadmi Party received the most number of positive and negative tweets. And I must also say at this time that the Congress has been a slow starter on social media. They're picking up now and getting their act together. But despite that, for Dr. Singhvi to have come out and made his points and received the fewest number of negative tweets, and the fact that he agreed in the spirit of debate and democracy to participate in this program, thank you so much for that, Dr. Singhvi. We really appreciate it. The Congress needs to really up its game on social media. That, I think, is something that you need to work back end with your team. But the fact that you participated despite that limitation, kudos to you and thank you so much. Meenakshi Lekhi, we will be back next time discussing something about Modi. This debate was naturally about the Aam Aadmi Party, so in that sense, there's a natural skew towards getting more responses for whatever the Aam Aadmi Party was saying. This is no competition in any real sense. The real competition is the one that's on with the speakers on the one side and the voters on the other. This is just one way of presenting and changing the format and giving you, our viewers, an opportunity to participate in a live television debate so that you can respond directly to each of our speakers. Rahul Mehra, Meenakshi Lekhi, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi for participating in India's first Twitter debate. Your vote 2014. Thank you all so much. Thank you for a wonderful audience for coming and participating in this program also. And most importantly, thank you to all our viewers who helped trend Your Vote 2014 nationally and participated in this program. We will be doing more of these shows over the next several weeks as we build up to the mega elections of 2014, possibly the most crucial election of our lifetime, an election that could change the course and destiny of this nation. Thank you all very much. I hope you enjoyed this novel innovation that we've put together for you. It's taken a lot of time. Murphy's been working overtime. Believe me when I say that. Murphy's really been working overtime trying to mess things up. But in the end, as it always does, it came together. Thank you all so much. We're slipping into a break. News and updates continue on the other side, and I promise you we'll be back with another riveting edition of Your Vote 2014, India's first Twitter debate. Thank you. Good night. God bless. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.